Hey folks, welcome back to AAA Farms. James here. So last video we went over how to find the slope on this using a string level. That video is pretty short and straight to the point. That way if somebody's just looking at how to use one, they can just look that up really quick and be done with it. But in today's video, it's all about trying to get this thing finished, this dirt pad finished, get it fine-tuned in using the string level, and we're going to try to make sure everything's level all the way around. So it's still set up from last video, and we know that the only high spot is about right there. And so I'm going to use what I'm thinking is I can get right there with the box blade and push that dirt out that way, and that should get us hopefully level, because the rest of it's fine. I'm going to have to add some dirt up front, which is not a big deal. Oh, honestly, I might just shovel that dirt, or I don't know, I might use the small Kubota and just take a little bit of dirt from the front here and dump it over there. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to jump on the big Kubota, and we're going to try to knock this little high spot down with the box blade. That way we can move these posts and try to level the rest of this, and hopefully this goes pretty smoothly. This full length right here turned out really well. So I've seen where a company that sells these kind of buildings says that it has to be within 4 inches of level. But if you do some Googling and everything, it says for a shed it needs to be within 2 inches. Right now we're within 2 inches everywhere except for that one high spot, so we're good here. And then the front needs quite a bit of dirt because that's 4 inches out. Just mainly there's a rut there. Anyway, I'm going to knock that down with the box blade. We'll then move the post probably from that corner to this corner over here, and then we'll level that out, and then we'll move the post from this corner to that corner, level that out, and then that corner to this corner, level that out. Everything in the center I'm not too stressed about, because the way these sheds are built, the walls support them. So long as where the wall is going to be going is relatively level, it's fine. As you can tell, there's some big clumps in here and everything. I might get in here and kind of run over this some more with the tractor, just to compact it down a little bit. But the main thing is to get these outside areas level, and then like I said, I plan on getting sand to put in here to make leveling a lot easier, and then we're going to put those concrete pavers on that sand. But let me go get in the tractor, we'll knock that out so we can move our string. Alright, so we're within an inch throughout the whole thing. So we're right at 24, 23 and a quarter, 23 and a quarter, 23 and 5/8. So I'm going to call this side good. I still got to put more dirt up there though. I'll do that last. I'll throw some dirt down, because next I'm going to do this back section. So I'm going to do the back section, and then I'll do that side, and then I'll do the front. And when I do the front, right before I do it, I'll put some dirt there and drag it back that way. And then we can should make sure this is level. Alright, let me move the string around. Hey folks, it's a few days later. I had to stop and get my hair cut, and then it's been a crazy work that week. So it's actually like 7 days later from the first clip. I can tell the cat's kind of photobombing me a little bit. He's down here by my feet now. Anyway, so last time I got this line set up, it's been about a week. We had some rain, a little bit, I think Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, and today is Sunday. So I went ahead and fixed mistakes and got my string back level. Next step is just to see the difference of this side. So this corner we've already leveled to the front corner. So now we're going to level this corner to that corner and go from there. So one thing you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure that, so I started up here, this front corner, leveled everything to this back corner. So now that corner and this corner and everything in between should be level. And now I'm going to compare this corner to that corner, and I don't want to adjust anything over here. I want to adjust it all over here. Main reason for that is that this corner is level with up here. If I adjust it here, I will level this corner and this corner, but I'll no longer be level to this corner to this corner. So you always want to level on the new side or the new corner to try to get everything ironed out there first. So once I get this done, when I do this back corner, there it is, that corner, and there's the cat again. When I do this corner to this front corner, I want to level everything to this corner. So I'm gonna have to, you know, do whatever I got to do on this. There you go, that side over there. So anyway, let's see how bad this corner is. I'm feeling this is gonna be the worst one out of all of them. Let's find out. All right, starting with this corner here. That's where are we at? Let's see, about right there. So we're about 19.5 inches. There's some big clumps up in here. There we go. We're about 18 and 3/8 there. About 17 and 7/8 here. $20 and a half. $21 and 1/8. And then 26 and 5/8. So 26 and 5/8 and 19 inches on that side. So what, 7 inches? Almost 8 inches off. So we'll have to add at least 8 inches of dirt. And we got to take away a little bit in the middle here. So what I'll do next is I'm going to pull that stake up and bring all my string and everything over here. I know in the middle I need to take it down just a hair, so I'll probably back drag it with the bucket that way. And then I need to add quite a bit of dirt here on the end. And on top of that, I also measured, this was last Sunday I guess when the video first started, from this post to this post, it's like 4 inches under 24 feet, and that's how wide the shed is. So I need to add more dirt on this side as well, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to pull this stake off, get in the tractor, and we'll start moving dirt. Alright folks, a few days later, so what is today, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Last time I cut out it was Sunday. So Sunday evening, came over here, brought some dirt to kind of build it up over here because it looked like it was going to be off. Oh, so very wrong. Let me swing y'all around and show you. Alright, so that corner is the corner we've leveled to everything. And y'all can see that string. So over there it's like 8 inches above the dirt, and over here it's probably close to 24. I haven't measured it yet, but definitely gonna have to remove quite a bit of dirt. Let's measure it real quick, see where we stand. Okay, so this is what everything has to be leveled to, which is 24 inches, which is kind of where the string was when we had it leveled here. So 24 inches, walk a few feet, 23 inches, so that's doable. 18 inches. $18. 12 inches. 8 inches. And then right here next to our bubble is 6 inches. So all that dirt that I just put here, we have to take off, plus some, because I added all this going down that way. This has been like that. I mean, I added it originally, but I didn't add that Sunday, so so much to take off. I think what I'm gonna do is leave the string where it is and use the box blade and push it, because I think the box blade will go under the string. So I'm gonna push it off the edge there. See how that works. Alright, so I just got done with this side. Y'all can tell how much dirt we had to move. I pretty much had to take all that by that post back down to the topsoil basically. There's a few inches of clay there, but not much. Required me to take it on down quite a bit. But we're within 2 inches now. Most of it's at 24. Some of it is at 25 and some of it is at 23. So I'm calling this side good. Y'all can see 24 right there, 25 right there, 24 and a half ish, 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 25, 24 and a half, I had to kick some in there. That's kind of a little low spot, but 25 right there, 24, and then 24 right here at the post. So definitely had to take a lot more down than I thought I was going to have to, but finally done with that little stretch, and now all I got to do is the front. But I'm gonna have to take the front down quite a bit, because even just looking at it from right here, trying to back up enough, you can tell this spot over here is a low spot compared to the center here, right there. But I think I'm gonna have to take out a lot of material in the middle. I say a lot, probably not a lot, but some. So that's the next section. All right, y'all, it's the next day. We got done with this side. Now we're on the front here. I went ahead and got my string and everything set up last night, just to kind of give us a little head start on the day. So let's take a gander and see what it looks like. All right, so right at it, basically 25 inches. 27 inches. 23 and a half. 21, 19, 20, 21, 23, 22 and a half, 25, 26. So, but if you remember right, this corner here, so this is the first corner we started at. I need to add some dirt there anyway, because I haven't added any since I leveled it. So all this is leveled until you get into this little corner right here. It's a low spot, so I'll have to put some dirt there. But essentially, we got to take off this crown. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to have to do it with the box blade. So I don't know how well it's coming across, but this stuff is as hard as concrete, so we can't really back scrape it. It might be to back scrape it somewhat. I don't know. We'll try back scraping it and see what happens, and then we'll go to box blade. But that right there is a little low. All this is high, and then about right there it gets good, and then a little low. And get started. Alright y'all, we're almost done with the pad. So I don't know how well it's coming across, but we got some rain coming in. So been working on this weekend, trying to get done, which we're essentially done for everything but a little low spot right here. Let's give y'all a very quick rundown because I'm trying to beat this rain. Once I got the 4 corners leveled, I went back to this corner over here, put a stake in there, and then there's another stake right here. Y'all can see that wire running through. But I pretty much left that stake in place, took this stake, moved that string every like probably 4 feet or so, and then took a measurement, added dirt where I needed to add, back drag, get everything smooth, you know, move on to the next section, just keep doing that, and that's how I'm getting this pad level. So real quick, so doing a quick pan through, y'all can see it's pretty much flat through there. There's some high spots and everything, but the only spot left, like I said, I'm trying to do that rain, is right here at the very edge. So 11 inches, 13 inches, 12 inches, 10 inches, and it pretty much stays at 10 inches the rest of the way. So we have a little low spot right here. I got a small bucket of dirt on the small tractor. I'm gonna dump it here, back drag it, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is take the small tractor like I did before, because like I said, those tires are just better for this, but I'm gonna just drive it back and forth to compact all this in, and we are gonna be done with the pad until the shed gets put in. So let me get started on that, because like I said, we're trying to beat this rain. Oh y'all, camera overheated, so I don't know how much y'all got to see, but I added that little bit of dirt down there at the end of the hill and then ran it all over with the small tractor. Those square tires or construction tires just do a lot better job at doing that versus the ag tires that I got on the big tractor. It just leaves these big lug prints you can kind of see, like right here. But we are officially done with the dirt pad. The next step is Thursday, so today is Sunday, July 6th. On July 10th, which is this coming Thursday, they're going to be delivering the shed and setting that up. So I'll be at work that day, but whenever I get in, I'll take a look at it and see how it looks. Once we have the shed, I got to order some concrete pavers, some lows, little 12-inch by 12-inch by 2-inch wavers, because that's what we're going to put in here for a floor. And I'm probably going to look at getting some sand brought in too, just to make it a little bit easier to level this stuff. Plus, if we do manage to get water in there somehow, which I really don't think we will, but if we do, the sand will let it drain out, while this clay is not going to really let anything drain. So, but I highly doubt it, because there's a good probably 3 to 4 inch increase in elevation right here. So yeah, the hill comes in at a slope from this direction, and then we have a very steep incline going up to the pad. But it turned out really good, and I'm very pleased on how it turned out. Alright y'all, dirt pad's done. All we got to do now is wait on the shed, which, like I said, that will be Thursday, and it's currently Sunday. So in 4 days we'll get the shed set, or they'll get the shed put up. This is one of those metal sheds that you can buy, and they just come out and they put it up for you, they drive it in the ground, all that good stuff. And then the next step for us, like I said, will be to put some sand in there along with some concrete pavers to kind of create a little floor. But that's going to be it on this video, because it looks like it's about to rain any minute, so I'm going to get inside before I get wet. But thank y'all for joining me on the farm today, y'all. This has been a very long and tedious process. It took significantly longer than I thought it would. I think it's been about 2 weeks. Not working on it every day, just working on it when I can. There's a lot of dirt to move. I wish I would have counted how many loads, bucket loads on the big tractor, but it was a lot. So anyway, thank y'all for joining me on the farm today. Hope y'all learned a little something and enjoyed this one. Talk to y'all next time.